This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented, active, and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Transit News Magazine. We're here in Duchess County, New York, taking in the fall foliage. And yes, Metro North Railroad will bring you here. I'm Derica Abraham.
We're here at the Millbrook Vineyards and Winery, where they're hosting the Hudson Valley Restaurant Week that runs from November 4th to the 17th, with deals from Yonkers all the way to Duchess County. I'm Lena Lansky.
It's all part of Governor Cuomo's Taste New York initiative to promote our state's wine, food, culinary, and farm goods.
If you are in New York, there's no reason to look anywhere else. Whatever you could want to do, you can do right here in New York, and the MTA is the way to get there.
Derica, I hope you brought a big appetite because we're gonna need it. We have a lot of great food and wine to explore. But first, on this month's show,
I'm Italo Demodica, and I'm gonna take this bus for a trip down memory lane.
When I swipe my credit card this fall in the subway, I can buy more than just a MetroCard. I'm Vivian Guzman, and I've got that story.
I'm here with Janet Crawshaw from the Valley Table. Janet, tell us about Restaurant Week.
Well, Hudson Valley Restaurant Week is a celebration of all the great food here in the Hudson Valley, and there's no better time to do it than in the fall. Restaurant Week takes place November 4th through 17th. We have 157 restaurants offering special menus for lunch and dinner, 3 courses at amazing prices, less than $30 for dinner. Almost half of the restaurants are in easy walking distance to Metro North stations, and a lot of the restaurants serve locally grown food, so it's a great time to discover some new places.
Janet, how does Restaurant Week benefit the region?
Well, it's a huge boon, both for tourism as well as for restaurant business. We have almost 200,000 people dine out during Restaurant Week. There's a website, HudsonValleyRestaurantWeek.com, that lists all of the restaurants, gives their menus, and indicates whether they're in walking distance to the train.
what's so great about having all of these vendors in one place is that you can find kid-friendly ones like Sprout Creek Farm. I'm here with Audrey Aponte. Audrey, tell us a little bit about Sprout Creek Farm and the activities that families can get involved in.
Sprout Creek Farm is a 200-acre nonprofit educational farm in Poughkeepsie, New York, and we have a variety of activities for children and families. We love having visitors, and kids can come and watch. We are a working dairy farm, so we have a herd of cows and goats, and we make our wonderful cheese from their milk, and kids can come and learn about milking. They can meet all the animals.
Another place that's always kid-friendly is the Transit Museum, and last month they had a special day for kids. Here's Jesse Mislovsky with that story.
The Transit Museum played host to an event that catered to some extraordinary kids. The Transit Museum held its third annual Special Day for Special Kids. With free admission and exciting programs, the children were thoroughly entertained. The kids and their families had exclusive use of the museum before it opened to the general public.
We have an art activity happening in our education center for about an hour, and the kids are using maps and Metro cards to do collage in the Ed Center. At 11:30, we have an electricity demo. We have this special exhibit about electricity and how it powers the subway. So we do a science demonstration that's about 20 minutes long, that's interactive and gets kids involved and helps explain electricity and how electricity powers the subway. At noon, for about an hour, we're having a special band called M Shanghai String Band. They have a lot of instruments. They get the kids up and dancing, and sometimes the kids play instruments. So that's a lot of fun. And then ongoing from 10 to 2, we have a costumed interpreter in our signal tower.
If you have a child who has a disability and you've never been to this event before,
come check it out and be ready to take off your shoes, to have a really good time, to play and have fun and let the stress and the worry of everything else that comes along with having or not having a disability melt away in a really welcoming environment.
I saw something very cool. It was a very cool circuit.
What's your favorite MTA speed?
Take the 6095C train to Court Square and Boom Hall Place.
He's just so excited. He got here and he just wanted to see the trains. So we're having a good time.
the Transit Museum is known for its extraordinary exhibits. But what's going on here today is really special. I'm Jessie Maslowski reporting for Transit News.
From the vine to the table, if you're like me, I never know what to choose. I'm here with John Graziano from Millbrook Vineyards. John, which wine goes best with a holiday meal?
Well, my two favorite choices are Chardonnay, which really complements the flavors of the turkey and gravy, and Cabernet Franc, which goes well with the earthy flavors of mushrooms, the stuffing, and root vegetables.
I hear Millbrook makes custom labels like this Transit News logo.
Yes, we make custom labels for any occasion, any style of graphics, and they can be ordered on our website, millbrookwine.com.
And if you're in the mood for something a little stronger, I'm here with Ariel Schlein from Duchess Spirits, a local distillery in Duchess County. Tell me about the drink.
So what we've got here is our Harvest Moon cocktail. It's made using 2 ounces of our sugar wash moonshine. That's distilled from raw Demerara sugar, about 5 ounces of your favorite apple cider, teaspoon of our maple syrup, and about a couple dashes of our Colonial cocktail bitters.
Let's try it.
Absolutely.
Cheers. The MTA wants New Yorkers to use mass transit to get out to the countryside, to taste and experience food and drinks from other regions in the state. And under one tent, we have over 15 vendors. I'm here with chef and owner Josh Cronin from Terrapin Restaurant. Tell us how to make an apple tart.
Thank you, Derica. Well, I brought some great ingredients here from the Hudson Valley. I've got some apples and some honey. We're going to start with a simple tart shell, and what we're going to do is fill that with some apple compote that I've already made. Now, apple compote is basically just applesauce that's cut a little bit coarsely, a little bit of butter in there too. We want to fill that tart shell right up to the edge. Now I'm going to take an apple here, I'm going to cut it and make nice thin slices. This is really for decoration, so you want them to be nice. Make a few nice cuts in these, and you're going to end up with the apple like this. And we can take this and just put this along the top. Now, like I said, you want it to be pretty. When we get done with this, what we're going to do, coat it with a little honey. You want to help me with this?
Sure.
So now the honey is going to basically give it a little bit of shine and add a little bit of sweetness to the tart on top. Now once we have the honey on top, we're going to take this and we're going to put it in the oven. And I got one in here that we're going to pull out. That's all finished. And that's what it looks like, all ready to go.
Last month, the New York Transit Museum held its annual bus festival, where both young and old had the chance to climb aboard buses and enjoy various arts and crafts too. Here's Idolo Demotica with that story.
This year, the 20th annual bus festival was a fun time for all. The New York Transit Museum rolled out their vintage bus collection for the public to enjoy.
We have this wonderful collection of vintage buses. They live in depots all around the city. Our New York City Transit Department of Buses takes wonderful care of them. And because we can't display them at the Transit Museum, we wanted to make sure people had a chance to see them. So once a year we bring them out on the street so people can really enjoy them.
What do you like the most about this festival?
Seeing the old buses that I rode on, just that simple. Just seeing them, photographing them, taking them home with me. That's the best part of a festival like this. And it also reminds people that we've had transit in New York for all these years and all these changes.
Buses from 1931's Betsy to a 1980s Grumman 870 were on display alongside vehicles from bridges and tunnels, like the Tunnel Wrecker and the Tunnel Wash Truck. In total, there were a dozen buses and trucks on display, with bus operators on hand to talk about their days behind the wheel.
It's just the difference. There's no power steering. You appreciate what the drivers did to handle these buses back during that day. The braking is a little bit sharper, not as smooth as the buses today.
Well, you can visit all of the vintage buses. That's really the main attraction. Our education tent has wonderful activities for children. You can make your own bus. We are selling memberships today. You can get a discount on your membership. Our store is outside and inside, and the Transit Museum is open to visitors today.
During the festival, kids and parents climbed on board the vintage buses to remember days gone by, and there were arts and crafts for kids to make their own new memories.
When I was a kid, there's a green bus over there. I don't know what circa that is, but it looks like 1960. I totally remember it.
Our son is making a bus right now out of stickers and markers, and he's getting ready to put wheels on it and drive it around on the track.
There are a lot of buses and a lot of toys and all that stuff, and you can make a bus like this.
I think it's really fun because they have all the old buses and it only happens once a year.
If you couldn't make it to the bus festival this year, remember, there's always next year. The festival will be held during the Atlantic Antic Street Fair, so stop on by. New York City has a lot of festivals, but for these enthusiasts, the Bus Festival is the best festival of all. Yay! I'm Italo Demodica, reporting for Transit News.
New York State is no stranger to disaster, adversity, heartbreak. We may get knocked down, but a true New Yorker is never out. You see, we know a thing or two about big comebacks. So when Irene, Lee, and Sandy struck, we did what New Yorkers do best. We came together. Neighbor helping neighbor. Giving it all we've got. Then giving it some more. And we're not just coming back. No. We're building back smarter, stronger, bigger than before, because we're New Yorkers, and that's what we do. Visit New York State's rising communities and be a part of the comeback. We're better than before.
I'm here with Mary Kay Verba from Duchess County Tourism. Mary Kay, tell us why people should come here.
Well, there's so much to see and do in Duchess County, and it's easy to get to whether you're coming for the day or overnight. We have our history like the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Home Museum and Library. We have world-class art like Dia Center. We have hiking, biking, outdoors, the walkway over the Hudson. There's just so much to do that people can't do it in a day.
Well, for thousands of years, the process of winemaking hasn't changed much. You still have to know when to pick the grape off the vine.
At the ripe old age of 100, the Long Island Railroad Jamaica Station got a facelift. Here's team coverage of the celebration and history of this iconic landmark.
It was a joyous celebration as the iconic Jamaica Station complex celebrated its refurbished building, waiting area, and ticket booth just in time for the historic 100th birthday.
Certainly times have changed since that first train went to Spionk with newspapers 100 years ago, but the major purpose of Jamaica Station has remained the same. It is still the hub of a great railroad that is adaptable to the times.
We can do much more than look back.
we can also look forward because we're not done connecting to Jamaica Station.
Guests were treated to the MTA Police Honor and Color Guard and the Oyster Bay High School Wind Ensemble. The station is more than just a transportation hub. It's a community landmark.
Jamaica Station has contributed immensely to the economic growth and quality of life in our area. Jamaica is a major part of Queens now, and now this will help it even more.
The event concluded with a ribbon cutting as a fitting tribute to this magnificent renovation. Today's event is now a part of the long history of Jamaica. I'm Joe Calisi reporting for Transit News. And now, from the Long Island Railroad, here's a look at Jamaica's past, present, and future.
Towering over the corner of Archer Avenue and Sutphin Boulevard like a beacon, pointing you in the right direction every time for a full 100 years, is the Jamaica Station building, the Long Island Railroad's corporate headquarters since 1913. So what do you give a very deserving centenarian for their big birthday? Why, a makeover, of course. Over the past year, worn got reborn, but this was more than just a day at the salon. You see, 100 years in the elements can do something to a building, something not too good, that may not necessarily be visible from street level.
A few seconds of pad on either end. Tight on the head clearance coming here.
Craig Gitlitz has managed the project from the beginning and treated us to an up-close tour of the work while the building was still shrouded in scaffolding. For about 18 months, they worked top to bottom, leaving no stone unturned, unpainted, or unreplaced. It all starts with a new roof, now watertight 100-year-old skylights, and a newly watertight roofing system.
We did the roof, and then what we did is we started working up the interior of the parapet wall. We did 100% pointing on the brick, just weatherproofs the brick so water can't infiltrate anymore. And then up here you also have the coping stone. When we started taking the old coping stone apart, we noticed that it was in really bad condition. So we had these blocks fabricated for us, and we also put a stainless steel flashing underneath the coping stone.
Moving down to the intricate metalwork near the top of the building, undoing a century's worth of nature's wrath wasn't easy.
This is galvanized steel, and it had 100 years of paint on it. So we used needle guns to actually get the lead-based paint off of this galvanized steel here.
The soffit was a total loss and had to be replaced, but much of the building's distinctive metal cornice was able to be salvaged. The parts that weren't were removed and replaced with brand new, perfectly matched metalwork. Now about all that scaffolding. 3 of the sides featured your usual gravity scaffolding system supported by the ground below, but the south side required a different approach.
Here we weren't able to build it from the bottom up because we have an atrium, a glass atrium down below that services the Port Authority elevators. So what we had to do is we had to do a cantilever. This is a cantilevered scaffolding system which hangs off the building.
The building's many terracotta segments were in desperate need of help. Most of the damage was found in the load-bearing lintels above the windows. In 1900, the Pennsylvania Railroad bought a controlling interest in the LIRR, which is why if you look at the building closely, you'll see the old Pensie's signature design, the keystone, everywhere, around the apron of the Sutphin Boulevard canopy and above the second-floor windows, many of which were damaged beyond repair and had to be chipped away. The newly fabricated keystones were made in California and weigh approximately 250 pounds each. Saving the building also meant installing windows that no longer invited in all of the elements. The classic bronze lettering on the Archer Avenue side sparkles once again, as do the cornucopia on either side. The familiar Sutphin Boulevard entry canopy was also brought back to life.
You know, it's interesting when you look at historic photographs of our building and you can see there really are not many businesses around us 100 years ago, but it's wonderful to see 100 years later that there's a community surrounding us. We're an important part of that community. We want to play our role as being a good neighbor. Keeping our building in a state of good repair is good for us and it's good for the neighborhood. And it's in keeping with the historic nature of the Long Island Railroad. We were chartered in 1834. We have a commitment to our history. Our employees are very proud of that history.
Yes, the building is turning 100, but so is the modern-day LARR Jamaica Station complex, an original LARR station. Jamaica's platforms and tracks were raised from ground level due to steady growth in the area. This feat, along with the elimination of 20 local grade crossings, was also completed in 1913. 100 years later, Jamaica still functions as the hub of one of the largest commuter railroads in the world, and the facelift of the headquarters building is part of the railroad's effort to be a good neighbor and to enhance both the greater Jamaica community and the LARR customer experience.
The customer experience will be better in our building. Not only have we made improvements to the outside, we've made improvements to the inside of the building. Customers will have the opportunity to sit in a new, clean, well-lit area. It's an area for ticketed passengers. The interior has been scrubbed, the floor's been polished, there's new lighting. Jamaica Station will always be an important component of our operation. You know, we have the E-train, we have the air train, we have 10 of our 11 branches that go through Jamaica. Our goal when we have Eastside Access service to Grand Central Terminal, will be to reduce the number of scheduled connections at Jamaica. Eastside Access will be transformative for us. Jamaica will be a key part of that as trains move through Jamaica faster, not the Jamaica crawl that we're used to. It's exciting to see our building looking new, spruced up, in good shape. And we want our neighbors to recognize that. We want our customers as they pass through to say, gee, their building looks great. We're looking for our building to be an important part of this neighborhood.
Hudson Valley Skincare uses locally sourced ingredients from goat's milk to beer to make their lotions, creams, and soaps. And they smell good enough to eat.
Smells good. From skincare products to cosmetics, New York City Transit can help you ladies on the run. Here's Vivian Guzman with L'Oreal's new kiosk.
You may not know the name, but you've seen their ad campaigns before. Hi, John. Tell me, what is RGA and where are we right now?
So RGA is a digital agency. We do all kinds of things digitally. We do websites and mobile apps and social, and we design retail experiences for clients also. Where we are now is RGA Lab. So this is a space where we do experiments, we put different technologies together for clients, and we make interesting things happen.
And now, the award-winning digital agency, in conjunction with the MTA, will test a truly unique retail experience in, of all places, a subway station. Well, I'm really excited to be here, so tell me, what is this project that's in front of me?
So the one that we're talking about today is something we're working on for L'Oreal that's going to appear in the MTA in Bryant Park Station. So what it is it's a combination of a couple of things. We have a digital mirror experience. Someone walks up, it analyzes what colors they're wearing, and then provides product recommendations of L'Oreal products that they can then buy right there with a credit card swipe. What we wanted to do is bring a little beauty and color to people in the subway, to commuters while they're on their commute. It's a nice little surprise while you're either on your way to work or out or on your way back from work.
And it's all done through the wonder of technology.
It's taking the input from the camera and it's analyzing the colors that come into the camera, and then it's trying to figure out which L'Oreal products might match with the colors that you're already wearing. So what it does is it's now analyzing all the colors that it finds in the camera and trying to find L'Oreal colors
I see pink,
that fit.
pink like this.
Right.
I see blue like my shirt.
So then here are some of the colors just based on what it's found, and you can select one on top. You can pick one of the colors that you want to either match or you can decide you want to clash it.
Oh no, I want to clash it.
And then you can shop it now.
Shop it now.
And then it gives you the 4 products that it thinks will go well with those
So
colors.
I can choose just one or multiple? Is that how it goes? I'm going to go for everything. Why not? And then what, I check out?
And then you can check out. And then a simple credit card swipe and all the products then come out of the machine.
Although not every product L'Oreal Paris makes will be available, there will still be something to fit everyone's style.
Within the L'Oreal Paris experience, we're actually going to be featuring a number of our Color Riche products, including our wonderful lip color, one of my favorites, a number of different shades from our nail polish. In addition to that, we've got a number of quads that we'll be selling from our eyeshadow collection, And personally, one of my favorite launches that's coming out this year, our Voluminous Butterfly Mascara.
L'Oreal Paris is very excited about this trial.
I think the beauty of partnering with the MTA is it's really capturing the woman in the moment, the woman on the go.
And the subway system is the perfect place for it.
For L'Oreal Paris, we're always looking for new places to connect with our consumers. And we wanted to try a new innovation and new technology within a different space, something that hadn't been seen before. So we're really first to market to bring this to consumers. We love the aspect of the fact that we can actually capture the woman on the go, whether she's going to work or whether she's going out to dinner, and we can actually help her add a little bit of color to her outfit for that particular moment. So for us, being able to capture the consumer on the go is really something special.
Ladies, if you didn't get a chance to get your makeup done today, no sweat. L'Oreal Paris has got you covered. I'm Vivian Guzman for Transit News.
Wow, what a spread. I'm here with Ed Kowalski, owner of Restaurant Crave. Ed, tell us about your restaurant.
Crave is a fine dining restaurant, open Wednesday through Sunday, serving dinner, and we serve brunch 11:30 to 3 on Sunday as well.
And what have you prepared?
We did a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. We have organic turkey, we have whipped sweet potatoes, stuffing, buttermilk, regular potatoes, and Brussels sprouts, heirloom carrots, and cranberry sauce.
Can someone order?
They can. Go to our website, lolascafeandcatering.com. You'll have an order form there for Thanksgiving. Check what you like and we'll have everything ready for you.
Remember, you can take Metro North Railroad to Duchess County, enjoy a day out of the city, and taste New York.
And don't forget, Hudson Valley Restaurant Week runs this month, November 4th through the 17th.
Start your experience here at the Millbrook Vineyards and Winery. Well, that about wraps up this month's show. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, you can email us at transitnews@nyct.com. I'm Lena Lansky. Thanks for writing.
I'm Derica Abraham. Thanks for watching.
This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented, active, and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.